Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to our folks on the East Coast. I'm Todd Obert, President and CEO of Productive Corporation. Alongside me, I have Yasser Fuentes, the Partner Pre-Sales Manager for Kaspersky Lab. And we are going to talk about how to make virtual security more effective using Kaspersky Security for virtualization. If you have been with us in the past, you know how we do it. We like to meet productive in 1 minute. After that, we like to get into the relevant content. We're going to talk a little bit about traditional versus agentless security, kind of how that can be overall conceptually just is more efficient and more effective. And then we're going to talk about light agent security and how that adds additional power back into your hands and ties in your security with your security posture and with the endpoint in the Kaspersky console. We'll also show you that in the demo, and we'll try to keep it running right along. If you do have questions, please utilize the chat feature and we will get them answered. So with that, let's meet Productive Corp. Who is Productive Corporation, you say? Well, I'm very glad that you asked. Productive is a security solutions provider for mid-sized companies. We have a team of specialized experts that can help you with licensing, technical questions, or services with the products that we sell, as well as overall security initiatives. To that end, we implement, test, and optimize the products that we sell. We also can help you with the network health review. We can do Active Directory security. We can help configure the endpoint as well as your gateway products. In addition, we produce a lot of third-party content like this web event, as well as videos, white papers. You can find a lot of this content at productivecorp.com/content, as well as our YouTube channel. The bottom line is we have the resources to help you, whether it's implementation, assessment, licensing, or optimization services. Help at productivecorp.com, 800-726-4099. We are here to help. And one of the ways we do that is by presenting, educational content. Today, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we're talking about Kaspersky KSV. Yasser Fuentes from Kaspersky Lab is going to be talking about it. We have a few slides, and then he's going to be driving us through that demo. Yasser is, well-trained and versed in Kaspersky. I bet you couldn't stump him if you tried. How do you like that, Yasser? Set up there. And really excited to have him talk to us today. So let's give a warm virtual round of applause for Yasser Fuentes. Yasser?
Thank you, Todd, and good morning, everyone. Yes, so let's see main difference between traditional agent and agentless. So this is traditional security. Basically, we have the antivirus or anti-malware solution installed on every single virtual machine. In this case, we would have performance issues because we would have update storms when we're performing scanning. Also, it would be individual scan, and that compromised the performance of the whole virtual infrastructure. So this is not optimized, we could say, for the virtual environment. And at the same time, we have some issues as well with one of the main points of virtual environment, which is VM density as well and consolidation ratio. So moving forward, I want to talk about the agentless security. In this case, what we have is a product is designed specifically for VMware. It requires that you have NSX for the integration with vShield technology, or you can use vShield Manager as well. And it offers protection at the file system level with the file antivirus module, and also offers the network attack blocker component. The good thing here is that in terms of performance, every single operation is performed on the SVM, which stands for Secure Virtual Machine, and that doesn't compromise the performance on the virtual environment. So it doesn't impact at all the performance on the VMs. And this is really optimized approach for virtual environment. It's the way to have an efficient use of resources as well as preserving the high consolidation ratios. So this is how it looks like. This is how it interacts with different components that we have in the infrastructure. So we would have the SVM, the secure virtual machine. We would have the hypervisor, which is from where we collect information about the virtual infrastructure, and we would have the administration server, that is the one that we use for deployment and for performing different maintenance operations. So moving forward, I want to present you our light agent security solution. In this case, we have the same approach that we have for the previous one in terms of high consolidation ratios and avoiding scan and update storms. But at the same time, this solution is compatible with most of the hypervisors that we have in the market. We're talking about Hyper-V, Citrix, Sun Server, and KVM, as well as VMware. In this case, the light agent solution is a little bit different because it has both components. It has the API, which is the light agent solution, and also the network agent component. And all of these also it's managed, and the main operations are managed via the security virtual machine as well. So in the main difference that we will see here are the features that we have, and the main point here is that with this light agent solution, we offer something called MultiLayer Security. So basically, we would have a network agent installed on that computer, as well as the light agent, which is pretty much the API. And there you will be able to perform different operations like file scanning. Also, you would have control components, and you would have the ability also to perform patch management. So that's what we call it, multi-layer security approach. So let's see how it looks like. I would like to show you both of them.
I think that's fantastic. I'll make you presenter, Yasser. And do you know, I mean, rough percentage how many customers go KSV versus or go light agent versus agentless?
Well, we can say that there's fairly 85-15, 85 on the light agent versus 15 on the agentless, and that's mainly because of the requirements of the agentless, which is, you have to have NSX manager plus vCenter, and that requires a couple of licensing prices, and that's the main reason why. Plus, the multi-layer security approach that I was talking about.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, and I think years ago, right, that VMware redid its licensing, so it used to be a little more split, but now it's much more cost-effective to go light agent.
Yep, definitely. So I don't know if you can see my screen here.
Yep, I can see it.
This is the representation of Security Center. This is the console that we use to manage the solution. Once you install it, once you install the different security components, first thing that you would have is security policy. Through the policy, we'll be able to manage the solution. And this is how the policy looks like. So basically, we would have the first section, which is general information about what the policy is, if it's active or inactive. Here we have an option to inherit different settings from parent policies. So that's also an option here. And moving forward, we have event notification section. Here is where you configure different events in order to notify you, let's say, about infected files that were detected, about if the key was blacklisted or the end license agreement has been violated. And so this you can configure here. You can configure even notifications. We have different options to notify by email, SMS, even SNMP. The main profile that we have here for the protection component is the root profile. So even if you don't have specific settings on the different options for profiles on the solution, you would have this protection profile. So here is the security level, the recommended security level. Basically, it defines what the file antivirus options would be. So we would have by default the option to scan embedded OLE objects. We have the option to do not unpack large compound files. That's mainly for the performance of the system. We have the limit file scan time set up to 60 seconds. So here you can play with different features. Main things here is object detection. As you can see, we have set up the object detection for malware, Trojans. This is grayed out. Basically, you cannot uncheck them because they are essential for the protection of the environment. And also, you have other options like auto dialers. Today, they are not that used. Adware, which is commonly seen, and other is for rootkits and malicious type of software or software that can compromise the environment. We can create protection profiles based on these settings. So basically, I have two here created, and the option for this is that you can exclude from the protection component files and folders that you don't want to scan or different files that you don't want to scan, and you can apply this profile later to your virtual infrastructure. So you can use different options for the profiles here. This is how you would look at your virtual infrastructure. So if some of you have seen before the solution for endpoint security, typically you see the computers represented here in devices. In the case of virtualization for agentless, you would see the virtual infrastructure represented here. So that's the way you would retrieve the information, and you're retrieving this information from vCenter server. Okay. So those are the computers and the environment that I have protected. And as you can see, the profile applicable here is the root profile, the default settings. We have also the options, like I mentioned, to perform SNMP monitoring settings. We have both this option for monitoring the settings and also for notifications as well. On the backup option, we have the option to store files for a certain period of time. In this case, we have it set up by default to 30 days. We have the option to use KSN, and this is really important because this is our cloud-based reputational network. In this case, it's the fastest technology that we have to react to malware detection. So if a file is detected on the file system and sent to the SBM for scanning and non-verdict can be established or can be issued, we can send this information through KSN, and KSN within 2 seconds, it can send a verdict to either allow the file to execute or neutralize it. So that's really important. We also have the network attack blocker. That depends a lot on NSX options and features that you have enabled. And what it does is it protects the host against any DDoS attack or proving type of attack. What it uses is our signatures in order to determine the nature of the attack and then issue the verdict for it. Okay, and we also have a component pretty similar to web control in endpoint security that is called web address scanning. In this case, we can perform some scanning on different web resources throughout the network. So these are the main options with the security for virtualization agentless. And like I said, just summarizing, this is for VMware only. Okay. So now switching to Light Agent, the solution that I told you is compatible with most of the hypervisors we have in the market today. This is how it's represented here. You will be able to see the devices represented. The first one that you see here is the security virtual machine, and the second one is one of my clients, in this case, just a desktop. This, by default, when you install, is not represented. What you have to do is just bring those devices from unassigned devices. But basically, the recommendations is that you have them here, because later you're gonna use different policy that is gonna describe or is gonna set up the settings that you want to use for the prod, and also the different tasks that we have in order to maintain the prod up and running. So checking the policy, we have two policies. We have one policy for the protection server. That is the one that, the SVM is the one that deployed the licenses and perform updates as well as scanning. And we have a policy for the light agent for Windows. So this is the one.
So whether it's agent or, whether it's light agent or agentless, you'll be able to see it in Kaspersky Security Center. It's just that the light agent will have a lot more functionality.
Yeah, it would have a lot of more functionalities, and also it would have the network agent installed, so that way you can use system management. You would have a lot of options for reporting, especially on malware activity, and that's the main difference. As you could see here, we have different components. We have all the control components that we use on endpoint security. We're talking about application startup control. This component basically establishes or regulates which applications are allowed to start on the file system. It's really, really useful for ransomware or anti-ransomware protection. We also have the application privilege control that, different from application startup control, is not pure whitelisting. That's what we have with startup control. It's not pure whitelisting, but still you can create a group of category, let's say for protected files, extension files, and you can establish a rule to say that only trusted application will be able to modify these extensions of the file. So if you have a ransomware attack, if you're a victim of a ransomware attack, the ransomware won't be able to do anything, even if it's not detected, even if it's a new type of ransomware, because you would have this rule in place. We also have a device control component that's in order to create different rules to regulate the endpoints, or in this case, the virtual machines. What do you want for removal drives, if you want to authorize them or you want to block them. We have the option also to establish a set of rules based on bus, on connection buses. And the good thing here is that you can, let's say you can block a bus, but you can establish a list of trusted devices, and you can allow those devices that are your company authorized devices to be able to use by the users on those virtual machines. Okay, and the web control, pretty much you can play around with this module as a proxy server. It's not exactly a proxy server, but you can filter URLs. You can filter using different categories, Kaspersky categories for different files, and you can filter content. Any contents, or you can use categories. In this case, that's what I was talking about. Kaspersky Lab created categories. They are already predefined, and you can establish different rules for your machines here. On the antivirus protection section, we have all the components, like I said, for the endpoint security represented in the light agent. We have file antivirus, which is the essential component that works at the file system level. We also have mail antivirus that can scan at the network layer, any traffic on SMTP, on those ports that we use for the mail. We have also web antivirus as well, and that works at the same layer, on the network layer, and IM antivirus for instant messaging applications. We also have.
So this has, the light agent has everything in it that the endpoint product has in it.
Yeah, pretty much is the same thing, but it's optimized for virtual environment. That's the main thing.
Totally. Yep, exactly.
because of the logic used for, let's say, virus scanning, updates, all of this. In traditional endpoint security, this is done by the combination of the network agent, a connector, and the endpoint security directly. In this case, many of these activities are performed by the SBM. So that's why we have two policies, one for the light agent and one for the protection server. So key management here is performed by the SBM instead of directly from Security Center to the virtual machines. Okay?
Makes sense.
And the main component that we have here, in these days, talking about anti-ransomware protection is System Washer. We have it here. This component is capable of detecting really advanced threats, and it also has the option to not only check on signatures on detection of known threats, but also analyze application activity. And this is the behavior stream signature database. It is capable, after detecting any malicious activity on a file, to roll back malware actions automatically. So once we detect that this behavior is malicious, it starts creating like a backup copy of those files that are affected. And once we issue the verdict, it rolls back all the malware action. This is what many folks today in the market are calling machine learning or next generation technologies. We have had this component for over 10 years, and this is what we call machine learning or human machine learning. Okay.
Oh, cool.
So here it's the option. How do you want to connect the BMs for the light agent component with the SBM, that component, the protection server? So we can use different methods. We can use multicast. We can use an integration server, or if you don't have that many SBMs on your network, you can simply use custom list of SBMs. So that's in order for the light agent to synchronize with its SBM. This is the way that it looks like. I'm going to show you guys in a bit. So this is how, on the user side, how it looks, the interface. So you would see here that you're working on the policy that is established on the Security Center. You would see the different components that you have here, and you would see the activity. Right now, threats that were detected. We can see the tasks that are scheduled. In this case, we have a virus scan scheduled for 7/16 at 6 p.m. So you can see how it looks from the user side. Here in the backup, you can see malware that we were running as a test, ICAR, and you can see that it was detected. This is really useful for false positive, because if we detect something that is not malicious by mistake, you can restore that file from here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is the two solutions that we offer. Definitely today's, based on the threats, based on the activities that we're seeing with the ransomware, we recommend you to go with the one that offers more security features and multi-layer security for your virtual environment. But that is up to you. We have both of them.
So that presentation layer is when somebody comes onto a virtual machine. So they're seeing that they actually have the light agent running, correct?
Correct.
Oh, okay. That is pretty interesting stuff, right? And we were talking a little bit about when right before we started this broadcast of really all the power that's in that light agent, right? There's just so much functionality, and it is so effective and so efficient that really that's the way to go. And if you're not doing security that's truly been optimized for your virtual environment, you really should take a look at it. One of the leaders in this space is Kaspersky. So Yasser, thanks so much for a fantastic presentation today. I really appreciate it. And everybody who took the time to come to our web event, I say thank you. 30 minutes out of your day is a lot. and we know you have many other things to do. So the fact that you chose to spend time with us is much appreciated. So for now, I am Todd Obert of Productive, along with Yasser Fuentes from Kaspersky, wishing you a fantastic balance of your day and week, and we will talk soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day.